Back here with week 3 problem set for the theta group. The first video is going to go through problems 1 through 6, and the second one will go through 7 through 12, just like last week. Looking at this first problem here, this problem is very straightforward, just like beginning of the section problems are going to be, which the following is a positive integer divisible by 4, 6, 8, and 37. The best way to look at this is to just simply plug them into the calculator. There's no reason to divide by 4, because if something's divisible by 8, it's also going to be divisible by 4. And I'm not going to waste your time here. I'm just going to go right ahead telling you that the answer is E, because it's the only one that's divisible by all of them. For number 2, we're looking at when n is divided by 5, the remainder is 3. So your first best bet there is to come up with a number for n, okay? And we want the remainder to be 3. And if you think about 8 will have a remainder of 3 because we'd go 5 into 8, goes one time, and when you subtract down, you get a remainder of 3. So n is going to be 8 that we're going to use. And then it says which of the numbers use a remainder of 0, meaning it goes in evenly when divided by 5. Well, if we look first, A gives us n plus 3. Well, that's 11, and 5 does not go in evenly there. If we look at B, n plus 2, that gives us 10. Well, 10 divided by 5 is 2. It goes in evenly, so that is going to be our answer. Looking at 3, it says n is divisible by 3 and 5. What's the next integer divisible by all of these numbers? Well, you might want to come in and say, okay, n is going to be some number that's divisible by both of those. Pick the easiest one, 15. And then from there, we're trying to figure out the next number that's also going to be divisible by both of those numbers. And it's probably easiest to go out with multiples of 5. We have 15, we have 20, not divisible by 3, 25 is not divisible by 3, 30 is the next one, divisible by both 5 and 3. So how do we go from 15 to 30? Well, we have to add 15. So for number 3, E is the correct answer. Looking at 4, we're talking about ratios now. And at this point, it doesn't matter which one you choose to put on top, but we're going to do the ratio A to B, just because that's the order in which they're written. And it says the given ratio is 3 to 5. So we have 3 over 5 to begin with. And then it says, okay, there's 12 ounces of liquid A. So since I wrote A over B originally, my 12 is going to go on top to keep my ratio consistent, A over B, A over B. Now we don't know what the ratio, how much of liquid B we have, so we call that X. And then we come in and we are going to cross multiply diagonally up for each one of these. Okay, so 5 times 12 is 60, and that is going to be equal to 3x, and simply dividing by 3 on both sides, we get x equals 20. But that's not our answer, because what the question asks is how many ounces of the total cleaning solution will be produced. Well, there are 12 ounces of A, and if there's 20 ounces of B, that makes a total of 32 ounces, which is answer choice C. Okay. Looking at number 5, we have a shirt was 20% off, then it was 15% off of that. If it originally cost X dollars, how much does it cost now? Okay, well, it doesn't really matter how much it cost originally, so let's just go ahead and define X to be $20, a nice easy amount to work with. If something is 20% off, well, you could find what 20% is and then subtract it. Or the easier way would be to say, okay, well, it still costs 80% of its original cost. So I'm going to multiply times 0.80. And when I do that, 20 times 0.80, I get $16. And from there, it's another 15% off. Well, if it's 15% off, it still costs 85% of its cost. So we multiply by 0.85, and we get $13.60. So we're going to be plugging in 20 until we get $13.60. And to save your time, when you do B, 17 over 25 times 20, you get 1360. So B is the correct answer for 5. Okay? And you didn't have to necessarily choose a value for there, but you know, we're working on those skills, so let's just keep practicing them as we go through. Looking at 6, it says 60% of A is equal to 120% of B. Okay? We could come up with values for this one, but I think you might be a little bit hard pressed to find numbers that work for both A and B. To me, slightly easier here just to write the equations out. 60% of A. Okay, well 60% is 0.6, so I'm going to have 0.6A is equal to 120% of B. 120% is going to be 1.2, because that's 20% more than 1. 1.2 times B. They want to know what is 2A minus 4B. Well, if you look at the answer choices, they have A's in them. So if there's A's in them, let's go ahead and solve for B in terms of A so we can plug it in. And when we do that, we're trying to get the B alone, so we divide both sides by 1.2. They cancel there, and we get B equals 0.6 over 1.2. Shouldn't need a calculator for that. That is 0.5A. So when we come in here with our 2A minus 4B, we leave the 2A, but instead of writing B, we're going to write 0.5A, because that's what it equals, giving us 2A. Negative 4 times 0.5 is negative 2A, which gives us 0 when we combine our like terms here, which is answer choice C. Come on back for the second video for the week 3 problem set theta group.